Good morning, beloved. Today's morning meditation is titled, Peace Be Still. I need you to understand that God's voice is greater than our storms. Storms are an unavoidable part of life. And even some storms rise suddenly without warning. And so while others build slowly over time, there are storms that rage around us. Financial pressure, health challenges, strained relationships. And there are storms that rage within us, like fear, anxiety, exhaustion, uncertainty. But what makes storms so unsettling is not just their intensity, but watch this, their unpredictability. In Mark, the 4th chapter, the disciples are caught in a violent storm while doing exactly what God told them to do. He told them to cross over to the other side. So the waves began to beat against the boat, water started filling in the boat, and then panic sets in with the disciples. But while all of this is going on, Jesus is still asleep. The fear begins to lead them to wake him up and question many of us, like many of us would ask, saying, Teacher, do you not care that we are about to perish? Jesus rises up, he gets up and he does something totally remarkable, totally that never expected. He does not shout at the disciples. He doesn't argue with the storm. He simply speaks, Peace be still. And watch this. At his word, the wind ceases and the sea becomes calm. That same voice that created the world speaks authority over every chaos that tries to rise itself up in your life. This reminds us that peace is not the absence of storms. It is the presence of God and his authority in the middle of all of our storms. The disciples were not saved because the storm ended. They were saved, beloved, because Jesus was in the boat. And when we listen for his voice rather than focusing on the noise of the storm, fear loses its grip and God begins to show you things a lot more clearer than they normally are. Consider the story of a single mother. Consider the story of a single mother. I want you to consider the story of a single mother. Consider a single mother, right? Who is overwhelmed by a job loss, mounting bills. Every day felt like another wave of crashing waters all over her. Anxiety kept her awake at night, replaying worst case scenarios. But one morning, instead of checking her phone first, she sat quietly and prayed, Lord, I need your peace. She didn't receive instant answers, but she felt calm and weak with support of work, community help, and watch this, even renewed strength. The storm didn't disappear overnight, but peace carried her through the storm until it did. God often calms the storms around us, but sometimes he calms the storms within us first. His peace steadies our hearts so we can endure until the winds subdue. Watch this. When we trust in God's authority, we deliver that peace is not fragile. We begin to see that peace is not fragile. Peace has power. In our scriptures, Mark 4:39, it says, Then he arose and rebuked the wind and said unto the sea, Peace be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. What storm in your life, external or even internal? What storm are you facing right now? How have you been responding to this storm? Have you been responding with fear or have you been responding in faith? What would it look like to pause and begin to listen to God's voice this day, this week, this time? When Jesus speaks, I'm here to tell you, storms start listening and peace begins to follow those who trust God's authority. Yes, you've been listening to Morning Meditation with yours truly, Dr. J. You woke up this morning with peace. May God bless you and keep you is our prayer. Have a wonderful, fabulous day.